Good morning, everybody. We have a mixed trade in the grain markets here early on Monday morning. It is 6:30 a.m. Central Time. December corn futures up 1.5 at 412. January soybeans up 4.25 at 11.52 1/4. December Chicago wheat down 3.25 at 5.90 1/4. December Kansas City wheat down 3.75 at 5.48 1/4. December spring wheat down 2.25 cents at 5.52 1/2. U.S. corn and soybean export sales could be slipping just a little bit. Last week's corn sales were down 63% from the previous week and down 47% from the prior 4-week average. Soybean sales were a marketing year low, but still like 1.5 million metric tons, which is very impressive. But they were down 4% from the previous week and down 26% from the prior 4-week average. China was still the largest buyer of U.S. beans last week. China was only a small buyer of U.S. corn. Your total commitments for both crops for this marketing year are still the best on record, definitely for beans and I believe also for corn. So still a very good export book, but sales last week did slip a little bit. We've got our crush report from NOPA out later this morning. This is a monthly report. It'll be out at 11 o'clock Central Time. The trade estimates that processors here in the United States crushed 177.1 million bushels of soybeans in October. That would be the largest crush number for October on record if realized. It would represent a 1% increase versus the same month last year. Crush margins remain very good despite the strong rally in soybean prices that we've seen. Better rain chances exist for some U.S. HRW wheat areas. There's a good chunk of Oklahoma and eastern Kansas that should see some rain between now and month's end. A lot of areas of central and western Kansas, Texas Panhandle, eastern Colorado, southern Nebraska, they will remain mostly dry. These forecasts have been, I would say, kind of disappointing lately. We've seen forecasts for rain that didn't really pan out, or maybe the amounts ended up being less than what we thought. So keep that in mind. Traders continue to contemplate the idea of a national shutdown under a Biden administration. And the reason why we are concerned about this as grain traders, of course, is the ethanol implication. You know, we saw ethanol production, of course, fall off a cliff back in the spring when the initial round of shutdowns happened and everyone just stopped driving. Demand just really fell off. Biden kind of walked back this idea last week. And then yesterday we had a top Biden health advisor say that a national shutdown of businesses and schools is a measure of last resort. So whether or not, I don't know if this happens or not, but whether or not this shutdown is ultimately realized, a lot of large cities and even some more rural areas are again implementing restrictions of their own, which could reduce driving habits, reduce ethanol demand, all that stuff. So not a good thing by any means. China's hog herd is recovering from the African swine fever virus. China's ag ministry had some new numbers out this morning. The pig herd was up 29.6% in October versus the same month last year. Sow herd up 31.5% versus the same month last year. So they're recovering, and I guess that is to be expected given these big soybean imports and purchases. The U.S. stock market remains strong on vaccine hopes. S&P 500 futures are up. They were up almost 1% at one point this morning. They posted all-time highs intraday on Monday last week. In addition to those vaccine hopes, you did have some better than expected economic data from China and Japan during the last few days that have helped to rally the market. So, despite the shutdown talk, despite a lot of people still unemployed. The stock market, which is not necessarily a great measure of the economy overall, but the stock market acts very well. December grain options expire on Friday. If you have any remaining open positions there, make sure you take a look. The corn market acted well on Friday. There's a trend line on the charts that I've discussed. I actually discussed it in a podcast on Friday. We went down and tested that trend line within a penny or two on Friday and then bounced. And that's a good sign from a technical standpoint. We've still very much got an uptrend in place on the corn chart. So the market looks good from a technical standpoint. We've added some carry again. You got 8.5 cents from Dece to March this morning, 15.5 cents from Dece to July in the corn market. You'd like to see a little bit more than that ideally before you get real excited about rolling anything. But I don't know what sort of opportunities you're going to see this year. Soybean market holding together very well. Funds continue to defend a massive net long position. We'll see a delayed CFTC Commitment of Traders report after the close today. We'll have an update, and that report will be accurate as of last Tuesday, which was report day. So we'll at least find out what sort of length the funds added following that report. Rains in Brazil have been adequate, forecast offering plenty of moisture over the short term and really between now and the end of the month. Again, NOPA is probably going to confirm very, very strong domestic soybean demand. The wheat market has been under some pressure. We're good 35 cents off the highs in this December HRW wheat contract. We'll see if these rains come to fruition. We saw some cash cattle as high as 112 last week. I think that's the trade was kind of scattered. It was like 108 all the way up to 112 just on Friday alone. But I suppose that bodes well. We'll see what happens in the futures market today. The stock market, again, mostly higher. You've got the Dow up almost 500 points ahead of the cash open. The S&P's up 36. The NASDAQ is actually a little bit lower. Bonds are down. U.S. dollar is down. Crude oil is up $1.46, 41.59 in the December WTI. Gold is down $11. Silver is down as well. This afternoon at 2 o'clock, I will be hosting the PM edition of Agri Talk. I'll be hosting today and tomorrow as well, that 2 o'clock episode. So be sure you tune in. I'm sure a lot of you are regular Agri Talk listeners as it is. Remember, if you need some more information from me, visit my website, www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan. If you would like to know when, how, and specifically I am pricing corn, soybeans, and wheat throughout the year, broken down by crop year, and by percentage, sign up for that subscription service. It's $49 a month. You can cancel it at any time. There's no other fee, no other obligation. Everyone have a great day. Catch you a little bit later.